Hello there, I'm excited to come your way once again. Today I want to share with us harmful communication patterns. You will agree with me that communication in marriage is very, very essential. And when communication becomes harmful, it turns out to be frustrating, emotional draining, and can cause disaffection and distancing in marriage. When harmful communication patterns are replaced with good communication skills and patterns, marriages, I believe, will do better. In my counselings, I have discovered that a lot of couples have these problems. They love each other, but their communication patterns are sometimes harmful. Examples of what I call harmful communication patterns. The first one is criticism. Criticism is when you criticize the person rather than solving the problem. You tell the person things like you are always or you are lazy. You are not addressing the problem, rather you are criticizing the personality of the person. Instead of criticizing the person, try to focus on the problem. Furthermore, there are people who are very defensive. When I say defensive, I mean making excuses whenever your spouse is complaining about a problem. Making excuses are like saying you also do such things, or you also are doing this other thing. Why are you complaining about me doing this thing? Meanwhile, you have never complained about these other things that you don't like your spouse doing. So it's a harmful way of getting problems solved. Ideally, I will expect you to take responsibility about whatever you have done wrong and apologize. Find ways to avoid them in your marriage rather than being defensive. There is a problem. Get the problem solved rather than being defensive of your action. I want to say that when you become too defensive of your action, you are simply showing that you are irresponsible, you are not selfless, and you don't have love and regard for your union. The next point is stonewalling. When somebody automatically shuts down after a problem is observed in the marriage, a spouse observes a challenge, and the other party, instead of addressing the challenge or explaining why these things happen, they just shut down. They don't talk about it. They avoid it. They don't even want to engage in any conversation that regards to this problem. You cannot run away from your problem. You cannot run away from any problem in your marriage. Once the problem comes up, if you need time to assimilate or digest what your spouse is talking about, take some time off, but you cannot totally shut down about what the matter is. Stonewalling does not help anybody in any marriage. My suggestions to solve this problem of stonewalling is: one, take a break if you need, like I said, and secondly, you must learn to stay engaged in difficult conversations. You cannot shy away from them. You cannot avoid them. They come from time to time in our marriage, so we must try to engage them and get to the bottom of every of such problems. The next one is contempt. Contempt is when you show disrespect or you mock your spouse, you make sarcastic statements about what your spouse is saying. It is not a proper communication pattern. Whenever there is a problem, you don't talk down on your spouse. You don't make them feel less important. You hear people say things like you are clueless, you are senseless, because they are trying to make their feelings known to you about what is happening. Those are harmful patterns. Don't take your spouse for granted. Hear them when they speak and make sense about what they are saying. That is where active listening comes in. You also need to actively listen to them, understand their situation, and help solve the problem. More also, interrupting your spouse and not listening. Interrupting your spouse and not listening to what they are saying is also another harmful communication pattern that I have observed in marriages. You need to actively listen to what your spouse is saying before you even answer. A lot of people who interrupt and cut their spouse midway as they speak do not even understand what their spouses are saying. They are quick to judge, quick to conclude. Most times I discover they don't really know what their spouses are trying to say or the viewpoint of their spouses. My recommendation in this case is actively listen. Practically understand what your spouse is saying. If possible, wait for your spouse to finish their statement, express themselves before you answer them. You can also validate their feelings to show that you appreciate, you feel them, you understand what they are saying. That will help you solve that harmful communication practice of interrupting your spouse while they are speaking. Finally, avoiding difficult conversations in your marriage is not wisdom. It's a harmful communication pattern. Please don't avoid difficult conversations. You can ask for time to assimilate or understand what your spouse is saying. You can buy some time to plan your answer to that situation, but totally avoiding them by changing the discussion or bringing up other issues in order to avoid the particular issues that your spouse is talking about will not help in that marriage. My solution is time should be scheduled where tempers are not flaring or couples are able to hear themselves well, understand in a very comfortable atmosphere where issues that you think are very sensitive to you can be discussed rather than totally avoiding them in your marriage. I want to blame a lot of men with this harmful communication patterns. They feel their wives are too petty, are too nosy, or are too scared, or just bother themselves, and will not want to hear their wives out when their wives are making excuses or expressing their fears. Avoiding conversations in your marriage does not make them go. Rather, it lets them become more complex in the near future. I believe that God will help us understand these communication patterns and find ways to avoid them in resolving of conflicts or in discussions in our marriages. Until I come your way next time, remain blessed. Please do not forget to share, to like, and to also make comments on any of these points mentioned. God bless you.